Last time we did arithmetic sequences with the recursive formula, which is lame. That recursive formula, you always needed that previous term. This time, still rocking the arithmetic sequence, so it goes up or down by the same amount, but we get like an explicit formula, and that's fancy talk for, with this formula, we can find any term in the sequence we want, right? So the bad part is they've got this strange version. This is like the OG version of this formula. I hate that one, man. It's hard to look at. It's got this weird little like n-1 in parentheses. I don't like it. This is the Mr. Fahnensteel approved, like preferred formula. But I want to show you that green one just because maybe a homework question will use it, and I'll show you how to read it. So check it out. Do you remember D from last time stood for the common difference? Remember, you can take notes how you want on this because you get to use it on your quizzes. D is that common difference right there to where it was either going up by 2 or down by 5, like that common difference that we found every time. So here's what we also need. We need this weird guy, a sub 0, which means the 0th term. Do you remember like a sub 1 meant the first term, a sub 2 meant the second term, and etc.? We need the 0th term. So like check this out. First, let's find the common difference. Between 26 and 36, you just subtract the second dude minus the first dude. What's 36 minus 26? 10, right? And you see it also goes up by 10, up by 10, up by 10. How do you feel about D equals 10? I need you to take these notes. Like if I write it down, you'll write it down because we got to find like all the ingredients for this recipe right here. So the common difference is 10. Is that cool with you? It's the second term minus the first term. And then here's what we need. We need to find the secret nugget, which is the 0th term. Remember, this is your first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. I need to go backwards 1 unit, right? And since it was going up by 10, up by 10, up by 10, would you believe that going backwards would mean I need to go down by 10 in that situation? So who do you think would be the 0th term? 16, right? You know, because it was going up by 10, up by 10, up by 10. I need to go down by 10. So the 0th term is 16. Cool? And now we have all the ingredients we need to write the Fahnensteel preferred formula. All we have to do is put 10 in for D and 16 in for a sub 0. And what's weird is you'll have all those other weird things, like you'll have an a sub n in there. D is 10. There's going to be an n next to it, and then plus the 0th term. So can you see that all I did was put 10 in for D in this one little spot right here, and 16 in for a sub 0. This formula right here will allow you to find any term you wanted. If they wanted you to find the 100th term, we would put 100 in for n. If they wanted you to find the 17th term, we would put 17 in for n. And we'll do that here in a little bit. But let's try that one more time. Let's find the common difference first. How did I get it? The second dude, subtract the first dude. So 81, take away 83. It's not quite 2. It is how much? Negative 2, because it's going down by 2. So if I just kind of make this little swoop here, down by 2. Do you see it went down by 2 again, down by 2 again? The common difference is negative 2. My pen didn't work out very nice there. Sorry about that. So down by 2. So what we need is the secret ingredient, the 0th term. If this is going down by 2, down by 2, down by 2, to go back 1 unit, don't I need to go up by 2 instead? If it was at 83, go up by 2, what would be that 0th term? 85. Cool? So now I will take these two dudes and substitute it into this formula. You'll always write that a sub n equals D is negative 2. There will be an n next to it, and then plus the 0th term, which is 85. You see how I found the 2 nuggets needed for that formula. When they ask you to write an explicit formula for that sequence, that's what we'll do. And then here on number 3, they say use the formula from question 2 to find the 13th term. I'll write it out properly for you. The 13th term looks like this. I'm just going to put 13 in for n. Do you see where there was an n, boom, boom, 2 little spots, I put 13 in its place. Why 13? Because that's what they asked me to find. They asked me to find the 13th term. The part that you need to concern yourself is the stuff on the right side. This a sub 13 is just going to come down, and we're just going to punch that in our calculator. Negative 2 times 13 plus 85. Do you see how that's literally like what I wrote down? I just punch it in, and I will put 59 on that. And this is weird math language that says the 13th term, that's what a sub 13 means, the 13th term is 59. Cool? So it's just basic substitute the number in for n. That's an explicit formula. So let's see if we can recognize some stuff. This guy right here, isn't he the funny preferred looking formula right there? Can you tell me who D is? Do you see D is the number right in front of n in this situation? Who would D be in this problem number 4? 4. You guys cool with the number in front of n is your common difference? So that dude's like going up by 4, up by 4, up by 4. Then they say find the 7th term. Cool, put 7 in for n. So I'm going to do 4 times 7 plus 9. Do you see where there was an n? Sorry, my calculator moved. Where there was an n, I put a 7 in its place. I got 37. So I'll let you, oh, they got a little trickeration on us on the next one before I turn you loose. What was tricky on it? They switched those two around, right? They switched those two around. This 5n should really come first if we did it properly, but we're going to use it. What do you think? What's D in that case? It's got to be the number in front of n. So what should D be? 5. Could you put 20 in for n? Punch that in a calculator and see what the 20th term is. So I put that in my calculator. I put 20 in for n, and I got 106. Did you get 106? So those two were in what I call like Fani preferred explicit formula. This one is not. This is in the OG version, the strange version. So I have it typed for you just so you could see. All we need to do is find the common difference. Can you see in that strange version, it's the number in front of parentheses, right? So what would that be in this case? Be careful because it's not quite 3. It looks like a 3, but it's really what? It's what? The number in front of the parentheses is not 3, but the negative, right? You just got to watch that. You see it's got a minus in front of it, so minus 3. Cool? They also put this in a stupid form because that 4 should really come last. To find the 6th term, we'll just put 6 in for n. I think we can do a little bit of mental math. If I put 6 in for n in those parentheses, you see there's a minus 1 in there also. Wouldn't that just turn into a 5? Are you with me on that? So I'm going to do 4 minus 3 times 5 instead of doing 6 minus 1 in parentheses. And I got negative 11. Could you and a neighbor do that last one real quick? That's in Fani preferred format. Find the common difference and then find the 432nd term.